Hello, this is Mr. White. We're on Chapter 13, Lesson 4, Aquatic Ecosystems. My Planet Diary. Underwater Alvin. Meet Alvin, an HOV, human-occupied vehicle. Equipped with propulsion jets, cameras, and robotic arms, Alvin helps scientists gather data and discover ecosystems that exist deep in the ocean. Built in 1964, Alvin was one of the world's first deep ocean submersibles and has made more than 4,500 dives. Alvin is credited with finding a lost hydrogen bomb, exploring the first known hydrothermal vents, and surveying the wreck of the Titanic. What are the two major aquatic ecosystems? Since almost 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water, many living things make their homes in and near water. There are two types of aquatic or water-based ecosystems: freshwater ecosystems and marine or saltwater ecosystems. All aquatic ecosystems are affected by the same abiotic or non-living factors: sunlight, temperature, oxygen, and salt content. Sunlight is an important factor in aquatic ecosystems because it is necessary for photosynthesis in the water, just as it is on land. Half of all oxygen produced on Earth comes from floating algae called phytoplankton. Because water absorbs sunlight, there is only enough light for photosynthesis to occur near the surface or in shallow water. Freshwater ecosystems. No worldwide expedition would be complete without exploring Earth's waters. Even though most of Earth's surface is covered with water, only 3% of the volume is freshwater. Freshwater ecosystems include streams, rivers, ponds, and lakes. On this part of your expedition, you'll find that freshwater biomes provide habitats for a variety of organisms. Streams and rivers. At the source of a mountain stream, the water flows slowly. Plants take root on the bottom, providing food for insects and home for frogs. These consumers then provide food for larger consumers. Stream currents increase as streams come together and make larger streams, often called rivers. Animals here are adapted to strong currents. For example, trout have streamlined bodies to swim in the rushing water. As the current speeds up, it can become cloudy with sediment. Few plants or algae grow in this fast-moving water. Consumers such as snails feed on leaves and seeds that fall into the stream. At lower elevations, streams are warmer and often contain less oxygen, affecting the organisms that can live in them. Ponds and lakes. Ponds and lakes are bodies of still or standing fresh water. Lakes are generally larger and deeper than ponds. Ponds are often shallow enough that sunlight can reach the bottom, allowing plants to grow there. In large ponds, and most lakes, however, algae floating at the surface are the major producers. Many animals are adapted for life in still water. Dragonflies, snails, and frogs live along the shores of ponds. In the open water, sunfish feed on insects and algae close to the surface. Scavengers such as catfish live near the bottom of ponds. Bacteria and other decomposers also feed on the remains of other organisms. Marine ecosystems. The expedition now heads to the coast to explore some marine biomes. On the way, you'll pass through an estuary. An estuary is found where fresh water of a river meets the salt water of an ocean. Algae and plants provide food and shelter for animals, including crabs and fish. Many animals use the calm waters of estuaries for breeding grounds. Last, you explore the different ocean zones, as described in Figure 2. Ocean zones. The intertidal zone, located on the shore between the highest high tide line and the lowest low tide line. Organisms must be able to survive pounding waves and the sudden changes in water levels and temperature that occur with high and low tides. For example, barnacles and sea stars cling to the rocks, while clams and crabs burrow in the sand. Nearctic zone, region of shallow water found below the low tide line and extending over the continental shelf. Sunlight passes through shallow water, allowing photosynthesis to occur. Many living things, such as algae and schools of fish, live here. Coral reefs can also be found here in warmer waters. Surface zone, open ocean. Located beyond the Nearctic zone and extending from the water surface to about 200 meters deep. Sunlight penetrates this zone, allowing photosynthesis to occur in floating phytoplankton and other algae. Tuna, swordfish, and some whales depend on the algae for food. Deep zone, open ocean. Located beneath the surface zone to the ocean floor. Little, if any, sunlight passes through. Animals feed on the remains of organisms that sink down. Organisms like the giant squid and anglerfish are adapted to life in the dark.